Industrial work environments inherently possess risks. These risks can vary from minor to extremely severe. Safety is the paramount concern in such settings because it protects human lives. Beyond people, robust safety practices also safeguard valuable equipment and the delicate environment. A deeply ingrained safety culture is not merely a set of regulations, it is a fundamental mindset. This mindset must be shared by everyone, from top management to the newest recruit. It forms the bedrock of any successful and responsible industrial operation, ensuring sustainability and trust. Without this foundational commitment, the potential for disaster remains unacceptably high. Saudi Aramco stands as a global titan in the energy sector. The company manages and operates some of the world's largest and most intricate industrial facilities. These sites handle immense volumes of oil, gas, and related products daily. The sheer scale and complexity of these operations mean that safety cannot be an afterthought, it must be central. Saudi Aramco has a long and storied history in the exploration, production, and refining of hydrocarbons. Throughout its decades of operation, its approach to safety has continuously evolved, adapting to new technologies, greater understanding of risks, and lessons learned from incidents both within its operations and across the global industry. Saudi Aramco consistently states that safety is a core, unshakable value. This commitment is not just rhetoric, it is woven into the fabric of its corporate identity. This dedication extends to every single employee, as well as to the many contractors who work on its sites. The ultimate ambition is to achieve zero incidents, a state where no harm comes to any person and no damage occurs to assets or the environment. Reaching such a goal demands continuous, unwavering effort. It requires substantial investment in safety programs, advanced training methodologies, and meticulously designed procedures. These elements work together to build layers of protection. This essay serves as a guide to understanding Saudi Aramco's comprehensive approach to safety. It will delve into the key policies, critical procedures, and fundamental responsibilities that define its safety management system. The aim is to present this information in a clear, straightforward manner, making it accessible to everyone, particularly those who may be new to industrial environments or to Aramco's specific ways of working. Understanding these vital components of safety is crucial. This knowledge empowers each individual to take active responsibility for their own safety and for the safety of those working around them, fostering a truly secure workplace. Management holds the ultimate responsibility for leading the safety effort within any organization. At Saudi Aramco, this is a deeply understood principle. Leaders must actively establish and consistently nurture a strong, positive safety culture. This involves setting unambiguous expectations regarding safety performance for all levels of the workforce. They are directly accountable for providing an environment where work can be performed safely. This fundamental responsibility cannot be fully delegated, it rests with those in leadership positions. To fulfill this, management must ensure that safety is prioritized in all decisions and that adequate resources are allocated to support safety initiatives effectively. A critical aspect of management's role is ensuring the provision of necessary resources and comprehensive training. This includes supplying workers with the correct tools, well-maintained equipment, and appropriate personal protective equipment, PPE, for their specific tasks. Furthermore, thorough safety training is essential for every employee and contractor. This training must cover not only general safety principles but also the specific hazards associated with their jobs and the emergency procedures to follow if something goes wrong. Regular refresher courses and ongoing safety awareness campaigns are also vital to help maintain a high level of safety consciousness and competence across the entire workforce. Management is tasked with establishing clear, comprehensive safety policies and procedures. These documented guidelines must accurately reflect best practices and regulatory requirements. Once developed, these policies need to be communicated effectively to all personnel, ensuring everyone understands their roles and responsibilities. Beyond creation and communication, management is also responsible for ensuring that these safety rules are consistently and fairly enforced. Any instances of non-compliance must be addressed promptly and appropriately. Regular safety audits and inspections are conducted to verify that policies are being correctly implemented and followed in day-to-day operations. Leaders must visibly demonstrate their personal commitment to safety through their actions. This means leading by example, such as consistently using PPE correctly and actively participating in safety meetings, inspections, and incident investigations. Fostering open and honest communication channels for safety concerns is equally vital. Employees need to feel completely comfortable reporting potential hazards, unsafe conditions, or near misses without any fear of reprisal. Management must ensure that all reported concerns are taken seriously, investigated thoroughly, and that feedback on actions taken is provided to the person who raised the issue, closing the loop. Every single worker within Saudi Aramco shares a personal responsibility for their own safety. This individual accountability is a cornerstone of the company's safety philosophy. Furthermore, workers also have a responsibility to consider and protect the safety of their colleagues working alongside them. This means more than just following rules. It requires active participation in all safety programs and initiatives. Adherence to established safety rules and procedures is not considered optional. It is a fundamental condition of employment. Embracing this personal accountability helps create a workplace where everyone looks out for one another, strengthening the overall safety net. A primary obligation for workers is to meticulously follow all established safety procedures and work instructions for every task they perform. They must also use all provided personal protective equipment, PPE, correctly and consistently whenever it is required. PPE, such as hard hats, safety glasses, gloves, and respirators, serves as the last line of defense against workplace hazards. It is crucial that workers inspect their PPE before each use, ensuring it is in good condition and suitable for the task. Any damaged or unsuitable PPE must be reported to their supervisor immediately and replaced before starting work. Understanding how to operate tools and equipment safely is also a vital part of this obligation. Workers are often in the best position to identify unsafe conditions or potential hazards in their immediate work environment. Therefore, they have a critical duty to report any such hazards to their supervisor or safety representative without delay. This includes reporting not only actual incidents but also near misses or close calls where an accident was narrowly avoided. Reporting these events is incredibly valuable because it provides an opportunity to investigate the causes and implement corrective actions before a more serious incident occurs. This proactive reporting culture is essential for continuous improvement in safety performance and for preventing future injuries. A fundamental right for every worker is the right to stop work if they genuinely believe that the task or the working conditions are unsafe for themselves or for others. This stop work authority is actively promoted within Saudi Aramco as a critical safety mechanism. If a worker feels unsafe, they should immediately stop the activity and report their concerns to their supervisor. Management is then obligated to investigate these concerns thoroughly and resolve any identified safety issues before work is permitted to resume. This empowers workers at all levels to take direct action to protect themselves and their colleagues, ensuring that safety takes precedence over operational pressures. Saudi Aramco has implemented a set of specific regulations known as the Lifesaving rules. These rules are not suggestions, they are absolute requirements. They have been carefully developed to prevent serious injuries and, most critically, fatalities in the workplace. The life-saving rules focus on activities that are known to carry the highest risks, if not managed correctly. Adherence to these rules is mandatory for every single person on any Aramco site, including employees, contractors, and visitors. Any violation of these fundamental rules is taken extremely seriously and typically results in significant consequences, emphasizing their critical importance. They are designed to be simple, easily understood, and entirely non-negotiable. The life-saving rules cover a range of critical, high-hazard activities. For example, specific rules govern obtaining valid work permits before starting relevant jobs, ensuring proper authorization and hazard assessment. Another crucial rule addresses safe entry into confined spaces, which are inherently dangerous environments. Energy isolation, commonly known as lockout-tagout, is another key life-saving rule, designed to prevent accidental machine startup. Rules also exist for working safely at heights to prevent falls and for safe driving practices, given the risks associated with vehicle movements on and off-site. Each rule directly targets a known critical hazard, drawing lessons from past incidents worldwide. Non-compliance with any of Saudi Aramco's life-saving rules can lead to severe disciplinary action. For employees, this could range from formal warnings to termination of employment, For contractors, violations can result in removal from the site and potentially impact their company's ability to work with Aramco in the future. It is important to understand that the primary objective of these consequences is not punitive. It is preventative. The rules exist solely to save lives and prevent life-altering injuries. Therefore, a thorough understanding of the gravity and intent of these rules is absolutely essential for all personnel working within or for the company. Continuous reinforcement of the life-saving rules is a vital part of maintaining a safe work environment. This reinforcement occurs through multiple channels, including initial safety inductions, regular toolbox talks, dedicated training sessions, and prominent visual reminders such as posters and signage displayed throughout work sites. Supervisors have a particularly important role in ensuring that their teams understand and consistently comply with these rules. Moreover, a culture of mutual care and intervention is encouraged, where workers feel empowered to remind each other about these rules if they observe a potential deviation. This collective vigilance significantly supports adherence to these critical safety mandates. Section 5. Gateways to Safety, Understanding Work Permits, Hot and Cold Work. A work permit system is a formal, documented control process used extensively in industrial settings like those at Saudi Aramco. Its primary purpose is to ensure that jobs with a potential for causing harm, particularly non-routine tasks, are conducted safely. The system mandates a systematic review and assessment of the potential hazards associated with a specific job before work begins. The permit itself is a formal document that authorizes the work to proceed, but only under a specific set of predefined conditions and precautions. Importantly, it also serves as a critical communication tool between the individuals authorizing the work, those supervising it, and those actually performing it. Hot work permits are required for any activity that involves open flames or has the potential to create ignition sources. Common examples of hot work include welding, cutting with torches, grinding, which produces sparks, and the use of any spark-producing tools or internal combustion engines in potentially flammable atmospheres. The hot work permit process ensures that comprehensive fire prevention measures are implemented and verified before, during, and after the work. This typically includes requirements such as atmospheric gas testing to check for flammable vapors, ensuring appropriate firefighting equipment like extinguishers or fire blankets is readily available at the job site, and assigning a trained fire watch. Cold work permits, on the other hand, are required for a wide range of tasks that do not inherently generate ignition sources, but still carry other significant hazards that need to be managed. Examples of activities requiring a cold work permit can include routine maintenance, mechanical repairs, scaffolding erection and dismantling, painting or general construction activities within an operational area. The cold work permit ensures that all such risks are systematically identified, assessed, and controlled. It will specify the necessary precautions for the particular job, which might include requirements for isolating energy sources, using specific types of personal protective equipment, or implementing barriers to protect other workers. All work permits, whether hot or cold, share common essential elements. They must clearly specify the exact work to be done, the precise location of the work, and the authorized duration for which the permit is valid. They will list all the required precautions, safety measures, and specific PPE that must be used. The permit also documents the names and signatures of the key responsible persons, the permit issuer who authorizes the work, the permit receiver who accepts responsibility for supervising the work safely, and often the individuals performing the task. The permit document must be prominently displayed at the work site throughout the job and formally closed out once the work is completed safely and the area is left in a secure condition. Section 6. Securing spaces, confined space entry, and equipment opening permits. A confined space is technically defined as an area that is not designed for people to work in continuously. These spaces typically have limited or restricted means for entry or exit, making it difficult to get in or out, especially in an emergency. Furthermore, confined spaces can pose significant risks due to the potential for hazardous atmospheres, such as oxygen deficiency, flammable gases, or toxic substances, or they may contain materials that could engulf an entrant. Common examples of confined spaces in industrial settings include storage tanks, vessels, boilers, manholes, pits, pipelines, and sewers. Working inside these spaces presents unique and often severe risks that demand rigorous control measures. A confined space entry permit is an absolute requirement before any personnel can enter such a space. This permit is a highly detailed document that outlines the strict safety procedures that must be followed. A critical component of this process is comprehensive atmospheric testing, which must be conducted before entry, and often continuously during the work. This testing checks for safe oxygen levels, the absence of flammable gases or vapors, and the presence of any toxic airborne contaminants. The permit also details specific rescue plans, and the specialized equipment required for both entry and potential rescue. Usually, a trained attendant must be stationed outside the confined space at all times while work is ongoing inside. Opening equipment or breaking into pipelines, often referred to as a line break, can be extremely hazardous. These actions can lead to the sudden and uncontrolled release of potentially dangerous materials. These materials could include flammable liquids or gases, corrosive chemicals, high-temperature steam, or fluids under high pressure. Therefore, an equipment opening permit or a line break permit is essential before undertaking such tasks. This permit ensures that the specific piece of equipment or section of pipeline is properly isolated, depressurized, drained, and purged as necessary to make it safe to open. It specifies detailed procedures to prevent any accidental release of hazardous substances during the operation. Key precautions are common to both confined space entry and equipment opening line break permits. The thorough isolation of all energy sources is absolutely critical for both types of work. This includes isolating electrical power, mechanical drives, process fluids, steam, and any other form of energy that could pose a hazard. Effective ventilation may be required for confined spaces to maintain a safe atmosphere. Continuous monitoring of the atmosphere inside a confined space might also be necessary throughout the duration of the work. It is paramount that all personnel involved in these hazardous tasks fully understand all the conditions and precautions specified on the permit. Clear and constant communication between all team members is vital. Section 7. Controlling hazards, isolation, lockout, and hold tags explained. The fundamental principle of energy isolation is to prevent the unintended release of any form of hazardous energy during maintenance or servicing activities. This hazardous energy can manifest in various forms, including electrical energy, mechanical energy from moving parts, stored potential energy, hydraulic pressure, pneumatic pressure, or thermal energy from hot or cold sources. Effective isolation protects workers from the risks of unexpected machine startup or the sudden release of stored energy, which can cause severe injuries or fatalities. Therefore, energy isolation is a foundational safety practice in all industrial operations, and Saudi Aramco places significant emphasis on its correct application. Lockout, tagout procedures are the primary method used to achieve reliable energy isolation. Lockout involves placing a physical lock on an energy-isolating device, such as a circuit breaker, valve handle, or disconnect switch. This lock physically prevents the equipment or system from being energized or operated. A durable tag is then securely attached to the lock. This tag clearly identifies the person who applied the lock, the date, and the reason for the lockout. Critically, under most lockout-tagout systems, only the individual worker who applied their personal lock is authorized to remove it, ensuring they maintain personal control over their safety until the work is fully completed. Hold tags, sometimes known as danger tags or do not operate tags, are warning devices used in specific situations. They are typically employed when a physical lock cannot be applied to an energy-isolating device due to the design of the equipment. A hold tag serves as a prominent visual warning, clearly indicating that the specific equipment or machinery should not be started or operated. It is important to recognize that a hold tag, by itself, does not provide the same level of physical security as a lock because it can be removed without a key. Therefore, when hold tags are used, additional safety measures or procedures may be required to ensure an equivalent level of protection. The final and perhaps most crucial step in any energy isolation procedure is verification. After applying locks and/or tags to all identified energy sources, it is absolutely essential to verify that the isolation is effective. This typically involves attempting to start the equipment through its normal operating controls or using appropriate instruments to check for any residual or stored energy. This verification step confirms that the equipment is truly in a zero-energy state and safe to work on. Comprehensive training on all aspects of lockout-tagout procedures, including isolation, application of locks and tags, and proper verification, is vital for all employees who may be involved in or affected by this critical safety process. Section 8. Vigilance in action. Key safety topics. Abrasive blasting. Abrasive blasting is a common industrial process that uses a high-pressure stream of abrasive material, such as sand, grit, or shot, to clean, prepare, or finish surfaces. While effective, this process presents several significant health and safety hazards. These include the inhalation of harmful dusts which can contain silica or metal particles, exposure to high noise levels, and the risk of impact injuries from the abrasive material or from unsecured hoses. Therefore, stringent safety measures are required, such as the use of appropriate respiratory protection, hearing protection, and full-body coveralls. The work area must also be properly contained or barricaded to protect other workers from exposure to dust and flying particles. Regular inspection and maintenance of blasting equipment are also crucial. Saudi Aramco utilizes aircraft, including airplanes and helicopters, extensively for transporting personnel and materials, particularly to remote onshore locations and offshore platforms. Aviation safety is therefore a critical concern. This encompasses rigorous standards for aircraft maintenance, which must be performed by certified technicians according to strict schedules and procedures. Pilot training, qualifications, and ongoing proficiency checks are paramount to ensure safe flight operations. Additionally, safety protocols for ground operations around aircraft, such as refueling and cargo handling, must be strictly adhered to. Weather conditions are carefully monitored, and flights may be delayed or canceled if conditions are deemed unsafe, all to ensure the highest level of safety for passengers and crew. Compressed gas cylinders are widely used in industry to store and transport various gases under high pressure. These cylinders can pose both physical hazards due to the high pressure and chemical hazards depending on the gas contained, which could be flammable, toxic, or an asphyxiant. Improper handling, storage, or use of compressed gas cylinders can lead to catastrophic failures, such as explosions or dangerous leaks. Cylinders must always be stored securely in an upright position and properly restrained to prevent them from falling. They should be protected from physical impact, excessive heat, and corrosive environments. It is essential to use the correct type of regulator and connections for the specific gas and to ensure all fittings are leak-tight. Crane operations involve the lifting and moving of heavy, often oversized loads. Accidents involving cranes can have devastating consequences, leading to multiple fatalities, serious injuries, and extensive property damage. For this reason, crane safety is a high priority area. Crane operators must be properly trained, certified, and deemed competent for the specific type of crane they are operating. Detailed lift plans are typically required for all critical or complex lifts, outlining the methodology, equipment, and safety precautions. All rigging equipment such as slings, shackles, and hooks must be thoroughly inspected before each use to ensure it is in good condition and rated for the load. The crane's safe load limits must never be exceeded, and the lift area must be clearly barricaded to prevent unauthorized entry. Section 9. Constant care. The enduring impact of safety adherence. Saudi Aramco's comprehensive safety management system is constructed upon multiple interconnected layers of protection. These layers include robust, clearly defined corporate safety policies and detailed procedures that outline specific responsibilities for both management and the workforce. Central to this framework are the non-negotiable life-saving rules, which target high-risk activities, and the systematic work permit system, which ensures hazards are assessed and controlled before work begins. Furthermore, specific safety programs and procedures are in place to address the diverse range of operational hazards encountered in the oil and gas industry. This entire integrated framework is meticulously designed with one primary goal: to protect every individual involved in or affected by the company's extensive operations. Safety is not a static achievement, it is a dynamic process that demands continuous improvement and unwavering attention. A vital part of this process is learning from all incidents, including minor accidents and importantly near misses. Thorough investigation of these events helps to identify root causes and implement effective corrective actions to prevent recurrence. Regular safety audits, inspections, and management reviews are conducted to assess the effectiveness of existing safety systems and to identify areas for potential enhancement. The company also actively seeks to adopt new safety technologies and incorporate evolving best practices from across the industry. Employee feedback and suggestions are considered valuable contributions to strengthening the overall safety culture, fostering a proactive rather than reactive approach. Adhering consistently to established safety practices yields benefits that extend far beyond the crucial goal of incident and injury prevention. A strong safety performance directly contributes to improved operational efficiency and enhanced reliability of equipment and processes. When employees feel safe and well protected, it significantly boosts their morale, job satisfaction, and trust in management. A company with an excellent safety record also enhances its reputation among stakeholders, including the community, investors, and customers. Fundamentally, a commitment to safety demonstrates a profound sense of care for people, the preservation of the environment, and the sustainable conduct of business. In essence, safety is not just a cost. It is an investment that delivers significant returns. Ultimately, the success of any safety program hinges on the unwavering commitment of every individual and the collective dedication of the entire organization. Each person, regardless of their role or position, must internalize safety as a personal value and an integral part of how they conduct their work every day. Consistently following rules, diligently using protective equipment, and courageously looking out for the well-being of colleagues are actions that collectively make a profound difference. Management, in turn, must lead by example, provide the necessary resources, and continuously support and reinforce this commitment. It is this shared dedication to safety excellence that ensures a healthier, more secure working environment and a sustainable future for all.